The feeling of being stuck is hard to describe to someone who hasn't lived it. Nothing's in crisis, life isn't falling apart, but it should be moving towards something personally significant, and it just isn't. Days blur together, nothing changes, and the weeks, months, and years start to look identical. The usual story we tell ourselves is that something external is holding us in place. The wrong circumstances, the wrong timing, some lack of opportunity that isn't our fault. But most of the time, that's not what's happening. What feels like being stuck is usually being comfortable, and those are quite different problems with quite different solutions. Stuck implies something outside us needs to change before we can move. Comfortable means what's keeping us in place is something we have some say over. The brain generates comfort automatically, below the surface, without asking. It's doing what it was built to do: stay in familiar territory, conserve energy, avoid anything that registers as a threat. For most of human history, that's worked well, because unfamiliar territory often did mean real danger. Growth feels like a threat too, though, and the brain can't tell danger from discomfort, so it treats them both the same way. The longer we stay comfortable, the smaller the zone gets. Every time we avoid something slightly outside it, the boundary pulls a little closer in. We don't notice because we're not doing anything dramatically wrong. We're just choosing the familiar option day after day, and it feels fine at the time. Do that long enough, and ordinary life starts to feel heavy. Things that used to be manageable, a difficult conversation, starting something new, even everyday tasks, start to feel like too much. We catch ourselves thinking, I used to handle stuff like this. Nothing dramatic happened. We just coasted along long enough that coasting became the default. And one day we looked up to find the range of things we felt capable of had quietly narrowed. Most of us have seen this clearly and still changed nothing. We know what we've been avoiding and roughly what it's costing us. And then we open our phone anyway, or put the thing off another day. Awareness alone is not enough. The gap between what we say we care about and what we do creates its own problem. We tell ourselves we're the kind of person who exercises, but we haven't moved in 3 weeks. We tell ourselves family comes first, but we've been half present every evening. Each day that gap stays open, we quietly accumulate evidence that we can't trust our own word. A brain that doesn't trust its owner grows reluctant to commit, take risks, or try anything that might not work out. It protects itself from disappointment by not fully investing in the first place. Avoiding things also produces a low, persistent hum of stress. Avoidance brings temporary relief, but behind the scenes, it gradually begins to weigh us down. Moving through the avoidance is what gets life unstuck. So if moving through discomfort is the answer, and we know what we should be doing, why is it so difficult to do the right thing, the thing that moves our life forwards or makes us happier? Comfort wins because it comes with an immediate reward. Scrolling feels like rest, and staying in feels like recharging. Whatever the easy option looks like for us, it delivers good feeling right now, and the brain strongly prefers right now over something difficult that might or might not pay off later. We've also surrounded ourselves with things engineered specifically to deliver quick hits of good feeling, products optimized by teams of people whose entire job is to make sure we don't look away. Then we wonder why genuine effort feels so hard to choose. Getting the reward before we've done anything gradually makes doing something feel optional, and once something feels optional, it rarely gets done. The conversation we keep postponing, the decisions we've been pretending isn't there, the thing we've told ourselves we'd start, none of these go away. They just sit in the background, adding to the feeling of being stuck and stressed. We tend to blame laziness or lack of motivation, but that's usually not the real obstacle. Motivation doesn't precede action, it follows it. Most of us wait to feel ready before we start, and ready never quite arrives. The people who get unstuck tend to start before they feel ready and let the feeling catch up to the action, not the other way around. Momentum works the same way. We talk about it like it arrives on its own, like one day everything just flows. It doesn't. Momentum is mechanical, not inspirational. An object at rest stays at rest. An object in motion stays in motion. The hardest part of anything is the first 2 minutes, when the brain generates every reasonable excuse not to begin. The trick isn't arguing with those thoughts, it's starting before there's time to negotiate, not tackling the whole thing, just the smallest possible version of it. Put on the shoes, open the document, send the first message. Once inertia breaks, the task becomes easier, even if it doesn't become easy. Most advice about this focuses on morning routines and radical overhauls, and most of it fails because it asks for too much at once. Small, regular, repeated actions outperform big, dramatic, inconsistent gestures, not because they're magic, but because they're doable on a bad day, when we're tired, when everything else is going wrong. Big changes need ideal conditions, and ideal conditions rarely show up. Getting unstuck isn't glamorous, it's showing up when we don't feel like it, doing the thing, and doing it again the next day. Each time we say we'll do something and then do it, we collect a small piece of evidence that we can affect our surroundings, we can change our situation. The brain starts to believe us again. That's when things actually start to move.